It's the weekend. It's Mailbag. I am joined this week by Sam, Ellie, and Pete. Before we kick off with the questions, I just want to say this little story from Worcester Court. So when I put the tweet out for this, I put a memorable 5-2 win against Man City where Preki scored an absolute worldie. And Worcester Court replied with this. True Preki story. When he came to Everton, the club put him up at the Atlantic Tower Hotel. Every morning, the same Uber Scouse waitress would serve him, and with an accent you could tarmac your drive with, would ask him, "What do you want for your Preki?" That's amazing. That would never have got old, that would it? What do you reckon Preki had for his brekkie?
I was just about to ask the same thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. He's probably would he have like something really like random, like pancakes and syrup
pancakes, bacon, and syrup.
Yeah,
because he came over from the States.
I don't know what Serbians have for breakfast. Ellie, this is your field.
Oh, because I work in hospitality.
Yeah,
I don't know. Although I've just been in America, haven't I? And if he's American, is he?
I think he's Serbian.
Yeah, I think so.
Played in America for ages.
Whatever he was having, it was double the size you imagine it's going to be.
So a Serbian breakfast. Breakfast in Serbia is an early but hearty meal, rich in calories and carbohydrates. So bread, butter, jam, yogurt, sour cream or cheese, bacon, sausage, salami, eggs, or kajmak.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, I've absolutely brutalized the pronunciation of that. But that's a great start here, just talking about food.
Don't know what it is.
It's cheese, clotted cream cheese.
Oof.
Oh, you get loads of that in Eastern Europe because my fella makes like cabbage and cottage cheese macaroni, which is like a Russian thing. And I know he'll never listen, so it's fine. But yeah, he just likes it because it's authentic. And yeah, no,
not for me.
just down the vodka and see it off.
Yeah,
it's Preki is received the London Donovan MVP award, an annual award from Major League Soccer players.
Oh,
so that's
that is nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
He was a superstar over there, though, wasn't he? He was a proper superstar over there.
Yeah,
they absolutely loved him.
Started out as a five-a-side player, didn't he?
Yeah, we signed him from five-a-side, didn't we?
Amazing. And his full name?
Oh, it's Pretrag. I can't say it.
Rado Savlazovic or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Preki.
I think it's also not as complicated as we were making it.
I don't think it was it?
No.
Although it was back when the most exotic players we had in the Premier League were like Scandinavian. So to have someone from Eastern Europe was quite exotic then, wasn't it?
But then you say that, but then we had Billy Etanov, and that isn't that hard to say, but we just called him Billy, didn't we?
Yeah, I remember when we signed him before I'd heard anyone pronounce the name, I just couldn't make head and the tail of how you said that.
Oh, that was another away. That's my most recent Man U away. Before recording, we were talking about Manchester-based aways, but the Billy Etanov scoring early, I'd barely got in the gates for him scoring against Man U.
It's always cracking when that happens, isn't it? At least he got in for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that at Brentford when McNeil scored in like the first 30 seconds. Literally just got up the stairs with our chips as he's like having the shot. Just made it. Right, let's go to the hot topic. Obviously, this is based on the blue card story, which has already been sort of knocked back. And they're saying, we're not going to do it now. Yeah,
it was an awful idea, though, isn't it?
I mean, who could have thought seeing that coming? So what's the worst idea you've ever had, Pete?
I like that you come to me first. I feel that my entire life has been one series of bad ideas and bad decisions, and it's all culminated in this, which I'm happy about. But I think there's going to have to be a pretty long list. Do you know what? I think one of my worst ideas was the last time I actually went to a proper barber's and I got them to shave my head. it was one of those situations where I felt like I was losing my hair a little bit, and I thought I'll take the plunge and I'll shave it off, and I haven't seen it since. And I used to have lovely hair, Les. I used to have really lovely hair, and I miss it, but I'm never going to see it again. So I'd say that was a really bad decision.
This is why I'm clinging on to this.
Yeah,
because once it goes, it's gone. It ain't coming back.
That's the thing about it, Les, as well, is that it never grows back the same way. So yeah. I could get away with it, and it was still a haircut. Do you know what I mean? Now it's just, yeah, it's gone. I need a trip. I need a trip to Turkey is what I need.
That resonates.
Definitely. Yeah. Should we do one? Should we do like a little group trip to Turkey?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'll stay here.
About blokes' barbers that I didn't know for years and years is they do your eyebrows as well. Like
the Turkish barbers, they'll do everything. They give your eyebrows going over, they flame your ears.
Yeah. I think that's fantastic, getting your eyebrows chucked in with your hair.
Yeah, they do. They're always, I mean, my eyebrows aren't particularly bushy, but they're always like, after having a go at mine, do you want me to just, no, fine, honestly, mate, it's all right, really, it's fine. Ellie, any terrible ideas?
I feel like after this week, quitting my job was a really bad idea. Even though I have got a new one, everyone. It's just, I was just saying to Les and Sam that I've had to get all new equipment, and I feel like I've just been born. It's really odd that I'm so reliant on technology, but even swapping an iPhone over, every time I open a new app, I can't do anything because I've got to log back into it. It's driving me insane. But my actual real life worst decision ever made was when I was about 6, I'd got for Christmas, you know those, they were called Get Set kits, and you could make things out of them, like Get Set pottery where you'd make a pot. I had Get Set jewelry maker, and it was basically like Fimo, you know, the stuff you'd mold into shape and put in the oven to harden up. And I'd made a bracelet out of Fimo, and I'd attached it to, you know, those key rings that have got this like wiggly bit that you can stretch out. You know the ones I mean?
Yeah.
I attached the bracelet, clipped that onto there, and stood in the living room and swung it around. But because it stretched out so much, it was like out of control, and it smashed the like the light shade because it was a glass one. And I was just stood in disbelief, just like, oh, how do I explain this? Like, why have I done that? And when my mum came home, I was like, the dog was driving me mad, and I slammed the door and it just smashed. Just like the world's biggest and worst lie ever. And I think about it all the time, like, why did you do that? But it's just never stopped me from making other terrible decisions in my life. In the moment, done. But yeah, it's that'll haunt me forever. The glass was everywhere.
I like the way
it's raining on you.
Yeah, it was awful.
It just happened.
Yeah, I slammed the door, and the force was so great. Me, a 6-year-old child, slammed the door so hard that broke. She didn't make a meal of it. She just went, right.
That's just reminded me of like that. I wasn't going to say this one because I'd forgotten about it, but that's just reminded me when I was about 8, and I know my dad watches this, and he's probably going to kill me.
I was just about to say, I don't think my dad's going to listen to this, so I'm all right.
Yeah. So my dad had like a little sort of pellet gun. I found it, and for some reason I thought, do you remember the ink cartridges you used to get like put in fountain pens? I stuck one in the end of this gun. I don't know what I thought was going to happen. Stood in like on the landing and just shot it into the spare bedroom, and it just splattered all over the wallpaper. I was mortified. Like, why on earth did I do that? Like, thinking it was like some James Bond shit going on. So I wiped as much off as I could. Sorry, Dad.
Makes it worse.
But then, like, when there was like still bits in there, so like I got some sellotape and like sort of just like peeled little bits of the paper off. So it was sort of, the paper was a bit scuffed. But I can't even remember if I got found out. Because it was in a spare room, so it wasn't used for anything really.
It's incredible the ideas you come up with in a moment like that, where you're like, shit, I need to sort this out.
Yeah. It was pure Winston Wolfe. Man, yeah. Oh God, that's just I'd totally forgotten about that. Sam.
Oh God, mine's awful actually in comparison. When I was about 17, me and there must have been about like 7 of us got completely arseholed. So you don't have to put arseholed on mute or anything, do you?
No.
Anyway, and the flat that I was living next door to was open, and there was no one living in it. And we thought it would be a really fun idea because I had a load of purple paint from doing my room, and we just thought if we went and drew and painted all over the walls, we'd just be able to paint over it in the morning. We'd just paint over it in the morning, it'd be fine. And waking up with a stinking hangover, realizing you might get evicted and you've now got to paint a whole entire room, it was just a real low point. Because you have to do, there's no curtains up, you have to do that really quickly, and I just don't know why that seemed like such a good idea in the moment. It just seemed like a really kind of fun, reckless thing to do.
Did anyone paint cock and balls?
Someone else's flat, that's high up.
That's the question. Was it cock and balls painted on the wall by anyone?
They were all, oh yeah, there was loads of cocks and balls. I mean, you get, that's your default, isn't it? You go to that first.
Absolutely.
First thing you do.
Actually, the worst thing was I had gloss for the skirting boards, and I started in gloss, and you cannot paint over gloss.
I'd say that's a worse decision than the purple one.
Yeah, it's a far worse decision. But somebody actually had enough about them to stop us doing that, so the wardrobe went in front of that. But yeah, that could have been catastrophic, let's be honest.
Yeah, and that's just reminded me of another terrible decision. First house I got, painted an entire wall with red gloss.
Oh my God, red.
I know. It was more burgundy. It was more burgundy than red.
This is my dad bought a pair of trainers last week, some Adidas Samba. Not the new style, but the dad style.
Yeah.
You know, the ones.
The ones that
like,
yeah, basically.
Yeah, have you got the dad style with the bigger tongue? You know that next time you see my dad, look at
Samba Super. Yeah, Samba Super with a big tongue. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was made up with them. I was like, all right, what colour are they? And he went, red. I was like, fucking hell, you can't be wearing football, can you? And he sent me a picture, and he was just like, they're not. I'll still get away with them at Goodison because I'd say they're more burgundy. I was like, they're red. Them.
See, your dad's right. I love your dad. He's ace. He's right.
Nice, isn't he?
Yeah, I would like the whole way painting this wall. I thought it's just wet. It'll dry fine.
Oh God!
And the wall was glossed. I know.
You deserve that for your colour choice, to be fair.
It was burgundy. What can I say?
What did you have to do?
Coleman's
what did you do going forward though? Did you have to like strip the wall down, put wallpaper up? What did you do?
Just painted over it like with about 6 layers of matte. Something like that.
Of time.
Yeah, it wasn't a great decision. No. Really not a good decision. Had a couple in from this. So Gary said, worst idea, parting with 690 quid to watch Big Mick Keane try to play Togger in Royal Blue next season. Worst thing here, I haven't even paid yet. Me so stupid. We all done our renewals. I think I'm on auto renew. So
I'm on auto renewal, yeah. 700, is it 740 for us?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Piss take.
Can't wait for the new one.
The warming's up, aren't they?
That's it. Yeah, they're trying to break it in slowly, aren't they? It's just been creeping up.
Yeah, we'll give you like 50 quid a season increase, which is nice. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, and then we'll give £300 increase when we go to the new ground. That's what I'm waiting for.
See, I just go when my mate's in the Navy, and when he's offshore, I go, and I'll give him like 20 quid or something for every time I use it, and it makes it less of an obligation and more of, in some respects, an actual nice thing to do.
Yeah, the reason I can't do that is because, despite the fact that every time I have to go to Goodison, I'll be like, I don't want to go. That I get the worst FOMO ever, and I know that I'll miss something good if I'm not there.
That is it, isn't it? It's all like going the game is, if you shit, going the game is like 99% that you might miss something good this week.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, it's awful.
And Greeny with an absolute belter. Greeny's had lots of bad ideas. One classic when very young was, why do we brush our teeth? Cats and dogs don't brush their teeth. They seem all right. So he stopped. And then shortly after his epiphany, he contracted chronic gingivitis and nearly lost them all. So
My God.
there you go. See, bloody kids.
He can come to Turkey with us then.
Yeah, he's on the
Greeny
bus.
get his teeth done. We'll get our barnets. Jobs are good.
I mean, dogs, dogs don't clean their arseholes apart from licking them. It doesn't make it a good idea.
Yeah, please don't stop doing that.
Oh, Greeny must have some clinkers, mustn't he? Gary, what's the next daft reason that will eventually push you away from going the match? Ellie.
Daft reason as in a decision that's made. I mean, give me any excuse and I won't go.
Yeah.
Oh, is it after 2 p.m. on a Sunday? I can't be doing that. Is it in the week? I'm not going to that. Like a daft decision, like a blue card.
But yeah, I think that's where this has come from.
Do you know what? I don't think there's anything that'll stop me paying that 740 quid a season.
No, I don't think so either. It's just it is just like paying rent or something at this point, isn't it? It's just like you've got to do it. It just comes out.
The money goes out. I don't even bat an eyelid now.
Yeah, I know. Sam?
Oh, I mean, bad decisions kind of energize me, to be honest. I'd rather they go against us. I'd rather have the sort of righteous fury. I don't want them all falling in our favor. So
we'll just embrace the chaos.
Yeah. I am at the point now that I've reached the age where season tickets are now double what I have once paid for them, though. So that's a tipping point, isn't it?
Yeah.
And nearly double what we were paying for them 2 seasons ago.
Pete?
If we decided to start winning stuff but kept winning, like Man City, I think I'd probably get bored of it and miss the fume. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I'd miss that feeling of utter dread that we have every time we go into a game where we could conceivably get battered by everyone we play against. I feel like it'd be really boring if we turned into like a Man City type. You know what I mean? Like Man City always used to have. Man City always used to have really good, good little support. Say little support, good big support at Main Road. Really good atmosphere. You always knew that they had loads of chance. They were always great. Great home and away. And I feel like they've lost something. And I think, yeah, if we ever got to the stage where I wasn't absolutely terrified going to the match anymore, I'd probably get.
Yeah, see, right. I think this is why the limit of my ambitions for Everton are to just make the Europa Conference. Just Europa Conference football. I don't want Champions League and everything that brings with it. Just nice, weird away days in Europe. And, you're doing all right in the league. You're not going to
get me to Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
Get me to Latvia.
Yeah.
Get me on that coach.
Is it Lithuania with the Tony Soprano statue?
Is that where it is, yeah?
At the train station. Get me there.
Get me there, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like the sort of metalist Kharkiv years, those were really good, weren't they?
Yeah.
I was really content at that point. There was loads of people going, I can't take us to the next level, all this shit. But I was really, really content in the Europa League.
It was nice, wasn't it? It was just good.
Yeah, just
the last time wasn't that
mediocrity again. Nice.
Yeah. Bring on the banality.
The last time we did Europe though, that wasn't so nice. When we got into Europe and then we spent a load of money thinking, yeah, we can push on now. And we started the season with Dominic Calvert-Lewin at right wing back and had three number 10s and no forward.
Atalanta absolutely malleted us.
I went to Atalanta away. It's a funny story.
The game aside, it must have been nice.
Yeah, well, you say that, but everywhere was closed by the time we got there, and we were just sort of in this fan zone, surrounded by wasps. Because it was proper
What, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants or
actual wasps? Yeah. But one of the funniest things about that one was though, I'm assuming I can say this. Yeah, Chris Sutton was in our hotel, and I think the reason why he doesn't like Everton fans is because of his bar tab at the end of the night, when everyone realised what room number he was in. Hated us ever since.
That's outstanding. So what, did you just proper rinse his room? Yeah.
Well, what it was, we'd been to the match. We'd obviously got battered, and it was kind of like, it was a proper weird atmosphere. It was like this big open stand with no roof, and it was like virtually, it wasn't empty, but it was, there was only like 1,000 or something there. But when we got back to the hotel, apparently Chris Sutton was just absolutely laying into Everton, but like proper full on laying into us. And to be fair, in hindsight, he probably had a good point because he was like slagging all the signings we made. And yeah, to be fair to him. And he decided to order a few drinks, and someone clocked on which room he was in, gave him the thumbs up. He gave him the thumbs up back.
Someone, say? Someone clocked on?
Wasn't me.
Okay.
I wasn't involved in any of that. If Chris is watching.
I've absolutely no sympathy for him. Like I can't listen to him. He constantly. If you've got him on 606, it feels like you're listening to a sort of pub argument that's escalating. It feels like it's going to kick off, and it's actively stressful.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, sod him.
He's like confrontational.
Out of him.
Yeah, God, 100%. Yeah, he's like confrontational, but like nothing to really back it up with, other than just being a bit confrontational.
Yeah,
you could tell him his name was Chris Sutton, and he'd argue with you.
Yeah, it's Christopher actually.
Yeah.
Where were we? Were we on eventually push you away from the match?
Yeah. What would do it for you?
Yeah, we were. Shy Food and Ale at the new ground will probably see me off. I've got high hopes for this. High hopes.
They've got everything to fuck up, and they're gonna.
I know they are. Got to. Yeah.
Have you seen the state?
What beers have we got? Carlin, Sound.
Yeah, but like the problem with it is that companies like Carlin or like Molson Coors offer them so much money to have that product in there. Nobody else stands a chance really. But if you could get like Heineken or something, slightly better, isn't it? But did you see those the hospitality bars that they put out? I was like, what fucking year is this? Why did they look like that?
Yeah.
It just looks like lots of mistakes from like 2013 of bars that don't exist anymore. Who's designed them?
Yeah, it looked a bit Wetherspoonsy to me.
Yeah, crap.
Yeah. Yeah, the music will be good in there though. Alex, what league game will be the first one to have blue cards? Possibly none, but we'll go anyway. And why will we almost certainly be involved? It's a nap, isn't it?
Yeah, inevitable.
Probably the first and only blue card will go to
Jordan Pickford will be the first off for the blue cards.
Yeah, well, I put before on Twitter. That's how we go out the FA Cup next year, because that was the plan. They're going to trial it. We'll get some League Two team. Jordan Pickford will get blue carded. There'll be 10 minutes of mayhem when Stockport County, let's say, will net 2 and we're out. It's nailed on, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely nailed on.
I reckon like Coleman could talk his way into about 3 in a game. Like he's always seen as sort of, fatherly and like a morally upstanding fella, but he is an absolute gobshite, isn't he?
Oh, he's the most Aggie fella on the team. Without a doubt. That thingy, that Spurs goal, that Spurs equaliser, when he just stands. Who was it? Spurs centre-back, wasn't it? And he just stood and screamed in his face.
He was saying to him, it's going in now. This is going in, This is going in, And then when it did, he was like, yeah.
Outstanding.
Do you know who else as well? Do you know who gives the referees so much stick? But he seems to do it. He does it with this big grin on his face. James Tarkowski. He's incredible at giving just abuse. But like I saw this like behind the scenes sort of thing from the dugout, the tunnel, on the way out before we came out the other day. And James Tarkowski is basically just ripping into Oliver, like calling him a Geordie. That was Tarkowski.
Was it him who said you Geordie or something? And Pickford burst out laughing.
Yeah. It was Tarkowski, and he's just giving just anyone who goes past him, he's just like giving him proper grief. Love him. Absolutely love him.
You know what? He could say anything to me as well. He's like, I find his grin so disarming. He could be giving me
he's a total dreamboat. Total dreamboat.
I think my favourite thing from him this season, but I can't remember what match it was, but it all kicked off and he backed out and just called everyone over.
Was it the Newcastle one? Was it
it
Newcastle?
It was around then. It was around then where we were winning.
And he
games.
calls them over. Yeah.
He just like called them in for the lads going, I'm out. Outstanding. He's been so good this season.
He should shine tomorrow for against City because he's Man United, isn't he?
Oh, is he?
Boyhood Man United fan. You could tell in that game we played against City at Goodison, the last one. Did you not see how he was just piling into everyone? You could see it in him that he was just like, fuck these.
I'll keep it.
I just feel like that's just him, isn't it?
It is him a little bit. It was way more pronounced though. You could just tell.
Who told me that he started his career as like a tricky little winger, but like temperamentally, you can only be a centre back, can't you? Like sometimes at some point you've got to lean into just having a gob on you.
Well, the transition from winger to centre back is quite the move, isn't it? Not just physically, but everything.
Yeah, he's a big fella.
Was it like Colo Touré when he was in the Arsenal youth team and he was a centre forward, but he was just terrible at finishing? So they eventually just moved him back to centre half. It was like and Joe Linton as well. Joe Linton at Newcastle, they signed him as like a £50 million forward, and he couldn't hit a barn door. So then they put him in centre mid and it was like just run around there a bit, lad.
It's the reverse Michael Keane.
Yeah, put him up front.
What we should be doing with him.
Put him up front.
It's the Mick Lyons protocol. It's basically the original Operation Goodison. That's what it was. Stick Mick Lyons up front because we can't score. Do it with Michael Keane all day. Liam, slightly existential question. Do you ever allow yourself to think there may be a day that we are at Bramley-Moore and actually doing well and the nonsense of the last few years was worth it? Billy Dean's Boots said, I fear it will be when I'm rotting 6 feet under. And Gary said, yeah, but I sadly wake up. So yeah, will there be a time when all this shite will be a distant memory? Ellie's shaking her head there. It's fair enough. Go ahead, Ellie. Do you think it will be ever?
It's not that I can't allow myself to think about that. It's that my brain just doesn't. I can't imagine it. Can you imagine it?
No, I think we've actually gone beyond the stage of do you think we'll see Everton win a trophy to do you just think we'll actually not be dead shit forever?
I think you're just setting yourself up for a bit of a fail if that's what's in your head. Just take each week as it comes. Just keep dreaming of the summer when you've got 7 weeks where you don't have to watch them.
God, yeah, unless it's on a really bad stream off the official site.
Oh, lovely.
Good days. Can't wait for summer. When it's all over. But the thing is, this summer we could actually be like sort of on our summer holidays waiting for the news to see if we've been relegated or not. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Nice new season in the Championship.
Yeah, good times. Sam?
No. It hasn't even entered my head. Like, why would I assume that might happen? I mean, you could you could hope for all kinds of mad shit, couldn't you? But it still won't happen.
I want to moonwalk some, but life's a shitter, basically, that isn't it? Pete, you're Mr. Positive.
I often consider what the reaction of other fan bases would be if they were put through what we get put through. Like I saw this thing like a while ago, and it said out of all of the 92 teams in the Football League, Everton supporters are the only ones who haven't had anything to celebrate since we last won a trophy. So it's like some teams have been like promoted or won, either won a cup, won promotion, won a playoff, won a trophy, obviously, but we're the only team who haven't experienced any of that. So I feel like the answer is no. I'm not. If you ask me now if we'll ever win a trophy again, I'll probably say no, unless we go down and get promoted again. But,
that's what I was going to say. We haven't even gone down, so we haven't even got promoted.
That's it. So we haven't had that moment of celebration like ever. Like since we last won a trophy in '95, we're the only team who hasn't had any kind of joy. Like no
Right,
joyful moments.
could anyone handle Everton in the playoffs?
Oh,
No.
I
God,
couldn't.
no.
Absolutely not.
no.
I'd probably sooner not even get in the playoffs because it'd just be that bad.
I can't even handle watching Everton against Luton because I know what's going to happen. Can you imagine the playoffs and having to be at Wembley and the shame of it when the inevitable happens?
Yeah.
Not for me.
Nah, I'm not into that either.
You get that dodgy trophy as well, don't you? When you win the playoff final, you get given a trophy now, which is weird to me. Like, you haven't won anything, have you?
Stick it in the cabinet. Won the playoffs. So
well, yeah. but you finish first, you get the trophy. You finish second, you get nothing. Then you can finish sixth and win a playoff trophy. I don't
Be
know.
nice that. Then every time that Liverpool come to Goodison, they won't have a new banner with another number on it.
Yeah. That's what we need to do. We just need to get relegated. And then...
so the news that could be in the last week of the season was welcome, wasn't it?
Oh God!
Imagine. I genuinely think if it transpires that we play them in the last week of the season, it will be as bad as that Good Friday game where they beat with the McAllister free kick. That is the worst atmosphere at a derby, hands down, ever. So bad I nearly got arrested outside. That's another story. but it was like 8 o'clock kickoff on Good Friday, wasn't it? Which was a bad idea anyway. But yeah, I think it will be as bad as that. It will be horrific.
We have the potential to do the funniest thing ever, though, if we're already safe by then, and we've got enough sort of points in hand to, like, in case everything goes wrong with the second sanction, we could do the funniest thing ever if we stop them winning the league.
Well, yeah, we're not.
It's a 50-50,
we're already safe.
They either relegate us and win the league, or we stay up and stop them. I can't handle this scenario at all.
No.
Tell you what, though, I will have a fucking fortune on that happening, on them winning the league and relegating us. So I will do very financially well out of it.
Yeah, just escape the country after that then, on the winnings. Stevens asked, it could potentially be going to that game if it isn't the last week of the season, but what's the bravest thing you've ever done? He's got several which are not for the faint-hearted. Ellie, this one's for you here. He went to New York on his own and left on Friday the 13th of December 2002.
Mean anything though, does it?
Brave. Almost missed the coach, almost missed his flight at Manchester, and then the hotel didn't have his reservation. So he fucked that, didn't he, completely?
I'd be mortified.
Any acts of bravery, random or otherwise, from anyone?
I don't think I've got any.
Well, I had a thing during, it was a couple of years ago now, and there was a 2 escaped dogs by ours, and there was an old man. It starts off a little bit funny, but then it gets really dark really quick.
It does sound like the start of a good joke, to be fair.
Yeah, there was like these 2 dogs, and they were like staffy. I think one was a staffy and one was like a little bit smaller. And basically, they attacked this like old man and his dog. Basically, at first he was just sort of running around, and everyone thought it was dead funny. But the next thing, it was like boom. So we all had to like run in, and they had to like drag these dogs off him. And like it was like, have you seen Jurassic Park where it's like the raptors come in from the side? It was like that. The second one just suddenly.
Well, they eat George Costanza, don't they?
Yeah. Oh, it was
yeah.
But I managed to finally get the dog off the floor and put it in a car which had gone past. And the dog and the old man were fine in the end.
Oh, well done.
There we go.
That is real bravery, and it kind of really puts mine to shame. Yeah, that is true bravery, Pete. Sam, have you got anything?
Yeah, I was going to say, well, until that came about, I was going to say I once got on a megabus to Newcastle with the aircon broken and a tummy ache, but that seems a little bit tame now.
I've been on the brick coach a few times, and I love the brick, by the way, just in case they're watching. Got to be brave to go on there. It's great laugh.
Yeah, I mean, mine isn't particularly heroic now at all. But it is spiders and mice. Basically, so those big spiders that come in the autumn, clack around your house.
Yeah.
In a desperate attempt to like impress the kids years ago and to make them not scared of spiders, I just started picking them up by the leg. The spiders, not the spiders, not the kids. picking them up by the leg and throwing them out, or picking them up and cupping them in my hand, which is quite horrible when you can feel them running around your hand. They're horrible. But now the new one is Colin cat brings in mice as a little present from time to time. So usually when we're asleep, he'll just like run to the bedroom and you'll hear him like knocking about, and you'll know he's got a mouse. And he's there and he's flicking this mouse about. So we keep a Tupperware in the bedroom now. Kinky. And basically I just to stop the like dicking about and just like messing, I just basically pick the mouse up by its tail and lock it in the Tupperware and take it down. Whether it's alive or dead, whatever. Just by the just get it.
It's the
Some
finishing them off I
shit.
can't do. I think that's the real bravery, is finishing them off. Because, you know, if they are clearly like injured and I just can't bring myself to do it.
Yeah, I've never done that. I've never finished a mouse off.
That'd be real bravery.
So the other week, I heard him messing about and I couldn't be bothered waking up. So I just like, oh, forget it. And then I just heard crunching.
Oh, God.
And then I woke up to the arse end of a mouse at the side of the bed, which was lovely. Oh. Yeah. Cats are great. Gotta love them. Gary, what's the worst bet you've ever made? Pete, go on.
The worst bet. I mean, there was a time when we didn't used to lose derbies so often. Do you remember that?
Weird, wasn't it?
Weird that, yeah. And I had a recurring bet with a red that I knew, and I think I'd bet them that we would. It was the Arteta one, so it was the last time we actually beat them at Goodison, and I bet them that we'd win. But then what happened then was that he kind of got into the habit of saying, "Oh, you know, double or quit sort of thing," or you know, we'll go again. And I had to just jib it off after like the 5th time because he was just rinsing me. So that was kind of like an accumulation of terrible bets. And I should have, if I would have just quit while I was ahead, because that just never happens. Do you know what I mean? And also the stupidest thing about it was I would have just been better off going to bookies and getting like odds on it rather than just, I'll bet you 50 quid. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So so that was a silly bet. But as I say, it was at the point where I was like, can I have the draw at least? And he was like, no, you're at home. I'm like, yeah, but we're Everton. Like, you always beat us. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that was a terrible bet because it carried on for about 5 years.
Jesus. Were you doubling each time?
I just blocked him in the
end. Sam?
As an adult, I only bet on things I don't want to happen. So I'm generally okay. But I remember when I was a kid, I had a bet with me dad that Graham Stewart would outscore Andre Kanchelskis. So that's very much a child's bet, isn't it? just
that's pure 90s madness.
Yeah.
He did have a season though, didn't he? When he started off like Graham Stewart, and he was absolutely banging them in.
Mm.
Yeah, I had a similar bet with my mates that Stuart Barlow would play for England.
Oh, that's sorry.
I was so convinced by him. Oh yeah, never paid them either. Funnily enough, Ellie.
It's not in terms of money won. Definitely not the worst bet, but ways that it was won, maybe the worst. You know, the season when they won the Premier League. The one with the asterisks.
The one that doesn't count.
That we can't really mention now that we've got our own little asterisks.
The COVID Cup.
Yeah.
I started off, I think I just bet like £1 on them to win, and they won. So I just used those winnings, and I basically just kept putting it on the next game that they were playing. And I was loaded by the end of it because they won that many games. I was delighted, but every time I mention it to someone, they're like, it's bad that. No. Thank you,
Blood
Liverpool.
money, that. Blood money.
Yeah, absolute blood money, yeah. I bought the leggings that I've got on with the winnings because I didn't want to spend my own money on them, too expensive.
There you go. You know, it's like you've got some happiness out of the misery. Like Sam, that's what you do, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think there's any shame in doing that.
It's a
I
solid
I'd
plan.
always bet
I
against it.
started with £1, ended up with £100 odd. Fine.
Nice.
Can't argue with that. I think my worst ever one. I'm going to take you back to 1992. I'm in a history lesson sat by my mate. The Euros are on, and basically we've done a sweep. I got Germany, he got Denmark, and he was like, "Do you want to swap?" Oh, no, sorry, I got Denmark, he got Germany, and he was like, "Do you want to swap?" I was like, "Yeah, fucking go on." Swapped, lost the sweep.
Oh,
I know. I mean, it made perfect sense at the time, but with hindsight, Jesus, I know. Still haunts me to
was
this
there any
day.
money on it?
I think there was like a fiver on it, which
Ooh,
in
in
them days,
92, yeah.
probably buy a season ticket with that back then.
Half
Oh,
season tickets, certainly.
Yeah.
I've just had a flashback to a terrible bet, by the way. I've just we've got like a group for the house, the house to go to before the game.
Yeah.
And we had this thing where everyone threw a tenner in, and it was a bit like your accumulating bet with the Liverpool one, but this was everyone threw a tenner in, and basically they were building it up for ages, and I think there was like 15 of us, and my turn was coming up and I was absolutely bricking it, and it was like a good couple of grand at this point, because they like one of the wins was like some like obscure Australian league game where the home team were getting beat 4-2 and won 5-4. It was one of those where it was like everything was going well, and then I blew it all by betting on Juventus to win at home. I can't remember who they were playing. Now they got beat 3-2 at home. And absolutely, I was devastated because it was all in. And I kept saying, but the thing about it was as well was that I think we played in Goodison that day and we'd won, so we'd won that like round of the bet, and I was next up, and I felt pressured into picking someone for that night, and I didn't want to. I was like, no, let me just have a think about it. And they go on, oh, you've got to go on, and they ended up just going for Juventus at home. And I think like they had some mad record, like they won every game for about 12 years at home, and the one time.
Was this in the midst of the Juventus sort of match fixing scandal? Because you could have a case here. You could have a case.
That's a very good point. It's a very good shout.
I'd look into that.
Yeah, let's have a look.
It will ease your conscience if nothing else.
What's that Super Silk doing now?
Oh, don't get me started on that. I can't stand the Shagger Silk discourse.
You call them Shagger, not me.
Oh God, no! I can't. I don't even know. I don't get it. Let's not. Mike, what's your Clockwork Orange video? So with this tweet, he put a picture of the Joey Barton, Tony Bellew podcast, which could be genuinely worst podcast ever made, even worse than one of mine. So yeah, that could be bad. So that's his. Anyone got a video like that? I think mine would be, for instance, the '86 Cup final. Then when Russ scores the third and the ball hits the camera behind the goal, there's an angle of it from behind the goal, and the ball hits the camera and it knocks out the way, and it's just scorched on me retina. And that is the one that if I'm sat there like that watching it, that would be the one.
Yeah. Ooh.
Ellie, you got one?
No, because I've not seen Clockwork Orange because I'm not a film person.
Read the book then. The book's really good.
Can't read a book.
Just
Fuck that.
you've are that good.
I've had the internet since I was 16. I can't read a book anymore.
Fair enough.
What would be another example of it? And I'll have a think.
So basically, they're trying to condition him away from being violent. So they're showing him loads of clips of violence with his eyes pinned open, and he's got to watch it. And what's playing in the background?
Beethoven.
Yeah. It's all the classical
horrible.
music. Beethoven is playing in the background, which is his favorite stuff. So it's like
I see, right.
So it's to condition you out of something. So yeah, just a really horrific thing that you'd like. Oh, be like that. Some of you got
What's
one?
it in it?
Right, yeah, I've got one.
Oh, go on.
Do you know that video of this was just like the first really awful video that I thought of. You know that one where Klopp's doing that thing to the crowd,
Oh
He's
yeah,
like that. But then did you see Seamus Coleman did it the other week? I felt like going onto the pitch and grabbing him by the scruff of the neck. I was going, do not.
yeah. I did get on that.
Yeah.
They've claimed that today, haven't they?
Oh,
They've claimed that
yeah.
today. Yeah, they said they
Swear
invented
down
that.
Oh my God.
That Curtis Jones interview honestly looked like a Zul, didn't it? Like it looked like a fake quote that someone had done. And then I saw the video on BBC. It was like he actually said all of it.
Yeah,
He basically invented celebrating. Like,
Oh God.
he
Does
said.
that
He
make it
said.
even worse?
He said everyone knows that our manager fist pumps to the crowd, and our players celebrate with the fans. So if they want to be like us, then that's what he was getting at. He was saying like that they invented it and they're known for it.
when I saw Arteta doing that, I thought straight away he's taking the piss out of him.
Yeah, he was absolutely taking the piss out of him.
Yeah, 100%. God, there's just so, I don't know. It's gone beyond the lack of self-awareness now, hasn't it? They're just like
Really bad. Really bad.
out there.
But yeah, that would be my one.
That's a good shout, actually. Sam?
I didn't think of a video specifically. I just thought of the worst thing that I've ever seen. And the worst thing that I've ever seen probably was I was looking after my sister when she was little, like 6 or 7, and some of her mates, and one of their kids bit off and swallowed their own verruca. And,
Jesus.
and that. And I was like, "Don't bite your feet," and they were like,
"Don't bite your feet. You shouldn't need to be told that."
They were like that, and I was like, "Don't be biting at your verruca," and they just went, "I've swallowed it now."
Oh my God.
I just can't think. Yeah, I've never seen anything worse than that.
I've never heard anything worse than that, I don't think.
Yeah, I think that is my moment right there.
Bret Easton Ellis is writing American Psycho. He comes up with the kid eating their own verruca. He's like, nah, I can't put that in.
A bit far-fetched, that, like.
Jesus, that's heavy. Pete?
I'm not going to top that, mate. That is my Clockwork Orange moment. Wow.
Right. We'll finish with something that's like it can be a happy thing, but Chris has asked, what are you going to do with your weekend when you finally knock football in the head? This blue card thing has caused quite the stir. So yeah, what we doing? Nice afternoon walks and pubs. Basically, the way I look at it is we'll have an extra £740 to spend on stuff. So that could be a nice shopping trip.
We can go to Turkey.
Me and Peter going to Turkey. Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do with myself.
Weekends in Turkey.
Spent on football. Yeah. I'm going to get loads of I'm going to get my teeth done. Going to get my hair done. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. Get a nice tan, go on holiday, enjoy myself.
What a life.
What a life.
Yeah. Ellie, trips to Turkey?
I've already said that I'll be there till the bitter end.
But when it's gone,
you will prize that season ticket out of my cold, dead hands.
Like the end of Terminator, you sink into the maze.
Little card between my fingers that inevitably is currently costing about 40 quid just for the plastic.
Sam, weekend plans without the toffees?
I think I might get into baking again. You know, just bake all the time, really nice fancy things, and like die of heart disease at 60 surrounded by crumbs. I think that would be like a really delightful way to go out.
What a way to go.
You've made that sound really wholesome.
Yeah.
I like it. Right, that's it for this week. So thanks to Pete, thanks to Ellie, thanks to Sam, thanks to everyone who sent questions in. Up the toffees. We'll catch you next week.